And the person helping me is like, Fathom, please tell me you saw that. I was like, oh, I saw it. I saw it. Hi again. I am Fathom, and I am the founder of Other Fiber Creations, and today is another market day. I have a feeling I will be lucky if I make back my booth fee, because that's usually how it goes at this market. I've done this market before, you can view that here. If you are new here, hi, welcome. If you are old here, welcome back. Normally, I do a market the first time, and then I'm anxious, like really bad, at that first time. And by the second time, I'm good to go. This is my third or fourth time at this market now, today, and I'm anxious all over again because the event organizer has changed, because the one who used to organize this event has found a better business opportunity. Good for her. I'm happy for her. But I'm somebody who, I get anxious about first impressions. And so I guess I'm going to go and film a YouTube video. And that's going to be my first impression. And hopefully that'll help, I guess. This is a market at the garden. It takes place at the Huntsville Botanical Gardens on random Wednesdays. Every other Wednesday-ish for a couple of months each year. It's the first year of it happening, I think. I have my inventory pre-packed. I have a basket full of mini baskets that I'm looking at. I have this thing. There's two of these and some poles. It is an old shoe rack that I have repurposed into being a plushie stand. Some tablecloths, some keychains, a keychain rack, and my box of bigger plushies. It is about an hour and a half out until we pack up the car. Today's helper is Kaylin. I'm excited to have her here. She's awesome and fun to hang out with. And yeah, I think it's going to be a fun market of just chilling outside, enjoying some nature. I'll try not to die to a bee. Fingers crossed. And if you want to see more of what I'm up to, you can go on my Instagram or come visit me in person at the Madison Street Festival October 4th this year. For now, I'm going to go chill, crochet a little bit more, finish packing. I just wanted to film this intro before we got there. And I will see you guys at the event once I'm setting up. Pew, pew, pew. So, we are here at the market. It is about, how long have we been doing this already? We are 10 minutes in. I should probably mark down the one sale we've made so far in this first 10 minutes. I sold one little dino for $15, and that is all that we've done so far. You guys already saw a clip of what the booth looks like, because it looks pretty nice so far. The only thing about today that I am a little worried about is that it is rainy. You can't really tell from how I have the camera done, but yeah. Feel free to touch whatever you like. But please do. Some people were like, no, don't touch it, so I make a point to tell you you can. I make it all myself by hand, so any questions, let me know. Thank you. So those are actually a new fidget toy design I recently finished. So you can actually take them and they just infinitely do this motion. Oh, how cute. So that you can sit at your desk and just do them eternally. Thank you.
Not my skill. Yeah, not mine either.
It took me a long time to kind of come around to it. I did knitting, I think about a decade now.
Loom.
I suck at the loom. You got me on that.
I can do the loom.
Good job.
Being mischievous.
I could tell. Oh, of course you were. Yeah, Kaylin's over here sitting next to me. The shenanigans begin again. Do you have anything to say for yourself?
I'm a baby.
The answer is no, it doesn't. But yeah, we made one sale. It is rainy as can be. The sky looks white because of how I've adjusted the camera. Let me see if I can adjust. There you go. I tapped this. You can see the sky behind me to give you an idea. It's a little lighter. The We haven't had it fully like unleash yet too badly.
Well, it was doing like
But
a pretty steady rain earlier. Now it's
that's true. It was a little bit worse when we were setting
the
up.
water on the ground is still, so now it's just water dripping off the pavilion.
Yeah, it is water on the pavilion. But this is what it looks like when I have the camera balanced so you can see me to give you an idea how dark it is outside. For now, though, we're going to go ahead and just chill as my shawl falls. And if you're enjoying the video, you should like and subscribe. Anything you want to say, Kaylin?
Hello.
Kaylin says hello. Teehee. So we are about an hour into the event, and I think it's going pretty well. I have sold more than before. Let me pull up the list. I've sold a baby dragon. I've sold some of my little desk pets. I've sold some scrunchies, a couple of fidget shroom lads. We're doing pretty good overall. 15, 27, plus 9, 36, 39, 45, 55. We've done $70 so far. That's not too bad overall. I was expecting to make 25, and that's about it. So we're going to keep on keeping on, see how this last hour treats us. Apparently, one of the disc jockeys on the radio mentioned the market's happening out of nowhere, and that's why this is happening. And I'm grateful for that. And I'm just going to not look a gift horse in the mouth and keep on vibing. Just Kaylin shaking her head at her phone ringing. Just, no, I'm playing a game. Got me. But yeah, I will check back in probably later. Pew, pew, pew. You put your book back on. So it is the end of the market. It has been about 2 hours total, yada, yada, yada. We are packing up real quick. And overall, this was a lot better than I expected. I just wanted to check in so that you're not like, whoa, we're suddenly home without warning. So I will check in with you guys after I go have some delicious cheeseburger and tenders and fries. If you want, I can cut that out and re-record whatever line that is. Great. And I will see you guys back at home. Pew, pew, pew. Okay. It has been like 2 or 3 days since we last talked because I was tired. I'm out of it today. I did not sleep well. I got another market tomorrow because it's market season and that happens. Let's talk about how this market went. All in all, I had a great time. I enjoyed getting to sit and talk with people. I enjoyed getting to see the crowd. Apparently, a random DJ mentioned the market on the radio. Unsponsored, unpaid. Just, my computer just restarted. Wild. They just mentioned it. So there's like a crowd of people who came. They're like, yeah, I heard about this free thing to come do on a Wednesday night. And I thought, why not? So I made a couple sales off of that. In general, this market has been one that I don't make much money at. It's why you've seen multiple clips of it. The more business I have at a market, the less likely I am to film it because I already struggle to keep up with my disability stuff. I am lucky that my friends handle a lot of it for me. Oh my god. Shut up! Can you tell I was watching something before filming? Haha. But my friends typically handle a lot of the heavy lifting, but having to sit and talk to people for a couple hours about what I do is exhausting. I'm not gonna lie. There's a lot of funny moments, though. There was this girl. It's time for fun market stories with Fathom. Not this time, but the time before the one that you just saw me at. This mom and her 2 daughters came by because the older of the 2 daughters threw her teddy bear on top of the pavilion that the market is in. She threw it up there. The mom was panicking, trying to figure out how to get it down. And the little girl, the older of the 2, just walked straight up to my booth as soon as she did it. And I realized she did it to look at my booth while her mom was distracted. This girl's like 12. She's smart. Her 6-year-old sister is like running around in like the field behind the pavilion. It is raining the day that we're there. The mom is like, how do I get it down? I need to get you guys home. It's wet out. It's dreary out. I don't want to. The 12-year-old is kind of sitting looking through my stuff and talking with me. And the 6-year-old finally notices her sister's gone. Because she's the younger one. And she comes over. She's been like out in the rain, head up, tongue out. And she comes over and she grabs one of my plushies and uses it as a towel and puts it back on the table and then starts picking stuff up to look at it. And I watch the vendor next to me like gasps in horror, and the person helping me is like, Fathom, please tell me you saw that. I was like, oh, I saw it. I saw it. And I tell her mom that she did it, and I was like, listen, I told the kids they could touch the plushies. I did. I do that every time. You saw earlier in the clip of somebody walking up to my table while I was talking to you. I tell them to touch the stuff. I sanitized the plushie afterwards. I did not make her buy it. It did not damage it. If she had stained it, it'd be different. Because I have learned that I make a lot more sales when people are allowed to touch the plushies. So I let them. A lot of artists are like, oh, please don't do that. I'd rather you do it. I can damage it out if I need to. I have friends that are happy to give them new homes. I have multiple local charities that I have talked to that are like, yeah, sure, we'll take them off your hands. If you can get them like where they're sanitized, they can be stained. We'll take them still because we can verify they came from you. So that's pretty cool. These girls came back again while I was at the market that you just saw me at. And the 6-year-old, she is something. She walks up with $7 in change and asks what she can get and starts trying to get the mermaid she used as a towel. And her mom's like, that is 7 times the amount of money you have. No. She did her math wrong, but same gist. And I tell the little girl, I'm like, listen, I think you're funny. I'll give you something that's $10 for your $7 in change. We start going back and forth, and she decides she wants one of my fidget shroom lads. The fidget shroom lads, for those who are not acquainted with my stuff, you can go on my website and see what I have in order to understand my pricing. Haha. But my fidget shroom lads I sell for $16 a piece, just because of the time it takes me to assemble everything together. She misreads it, or so she says she misreads it, as $6, and she wants that one. Her mom kind of looks at it. I can acknowledge I do my ones as like the straight line. I don't put like the little line at the bottom or anything, and so I could see where the mix-up happened from. Her mom could clearly tell it was 16. She kind of sighs and goes, all right, we're going to get this one, and don't worry, I'm going to pay the difference. And I watch this little girl light up, and she goes, okay. And she digs into her change bag and pulls out 2 shiny quarters and puts them in my hand. And we all kind of stand there. And she goes, don't worry, my mommy's paying the rest. She said she's going to make up the difference. She was so proud of herself. And I just was like, is that what your mom's going to do? And her mom's like, give me that, and snatches the bag out of her hand. And she's like, here is the change. I don't know where she gets off doing this. And I was like, she's a smart kid. I think she's funny. I love watching kids talk like this. There's a reason. For those who don't know my history, I was a daycare worker for a bit, like a volunteer daycare worker, where I was in charge of recess and snack time at my local community stuff when I was a kid. When I say kid, I was like 12 to 15. I did that. I then went to high school and was in a performing arts program as a classical voice major. And then I went into history education as a major for college. And then I dropped out and now I'm here. I love working with kids. They're so funny. They are little humans learning how to be human, and it's great. But yeah, she paid me. I have a bunch of shiny quarters now. I normally only work in dollar bills, but it was a great time. All in all, this market went well, and I think we should talk now about what did I actually earn. Ding! Let's walk through everything I sold and how much I made. In previous videos, we've talked about I don't really like talking about the money stuff, but I've learned that from requests from my other social media and talking to people in my real life who watch my videos, it feels more transparent and more educational when I talk about the actual numbers I'm charging, so that it gives people a point of reference for what I make. At an average market that I attend, I actually have these numbers written down. At an average market I attend, I make approximately $400. For the pop-ups that you've seen me do, you can view one of those here. I make on average about $180. At this market, my average had been $51.67 prior to this. It did go up a little bit. So, the first thing I sold was a little dino for $15. Then I sold a fidget shroom lad for $16. I sold a scrunchie for $3. I then sold another of the fidget shrooms to our 6-year-old friend for $16. Her sister bought 2 of my little desk pets at $6 a piece, and my last sale was a $15 baby dragon. Altogether, I made $77. If we remove the amount I paid to be there, I made a total of $52. The numbers I read to you before of my averages, those don't include vendors' fees taken out of it. They don't include what is profit and what isn't, because I still have materials and things to get. This market essentially paid for my Saturday market, is what it was. My Saturday market is where I make the bigger money at, and it also helps me to form bigger connections with my community. I'm still working towards getting consignment potentially at the Botanical Gardens, so I got to talk more with the new organizer about that. She was lovely. Turns out she had bought from me before. I didn't realize that she was the same woman who had walked around my first event that I was there and bought one of my baby dragons. So she's there. She knows me. We've talked a bit. We're working on that. It helped me get to know my booth neighbors a bit more. We got to talk more about what's going on with life, business ideas, markets we've been to, which is great for figuring out things that are, or places that are good to sell at for me. When I've talked to people before, I point out, talk to your neighbors. Don't talk to all of them. Don't necessarily invest in the people who sell the same thing as you. Be friendly to them. Talk about it. It's great to learn from other crochet artists, but knowing neighbors of yours who don't sell the same thing as you is worth so much. I learned about this event because one of the farmers from my normal market that I make $400 at referred me to them because I made a connection with them. I got this Starbucks class that I'm going to be teaching on August 7th, I think, if I remember right. They're going to teach how to make a coaster, I think. They're going to have somebody sit with me and watch just in case I have an episode or something. But they're going to have me attempt to do that. And I got that because I made a connection with the local Starbucks owner by walking in there and asking for water and making small talk with them on multiple occasions. I cannot vouch enough for talking to your neighbors. Utilize your community. Please, I beg of you. But I think that that is worth more than I pay to be at these markets. I go to these markets, yes, to make money in order to live, because I would not be able to pay my bills if I didn't. Thanks, disability. I'm working on it, I promise. But I go with the mindset that I am paying to make these connections. It's a networking event. And my only goal is to break even. And if I do that, I'm happy. All of that being said, thanks for coming to my unsolicited advice corner. Ooh. Thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, feel free to like, to comment, to subscribe. If you're going to do one of those 3 things, make it subscribing so you can see all the other interesting projects I make, as well as hear about my other markets. If you'd like to support me other ways, you can go down to my links in the description to see my written patterns on Ribbler, or my website where you can buy the plushies I've made. Or you can come out on October 4th to the Madison Street Festival where I'll be there selling things. Pew, pew, pew. Today's question of the day is, what is the funniest thing that you've had someone do at your workplace? If it's a market, tell me a funny market story. If you work at a gym, I used to work at a gym, that's what comes to mind. Tell me about the weird guy lifting weights. If you worked at fast food, tell me about that weird Karen who asked the weirdest thing. I want to know about it. Tell me about it in the comments below. I'm gonna go work on prepping for tomorrow's market. Thanks for watching, and bye for now.